Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the conjunction and we talk about the third kinds of conjunction which is known as subordinating conjunctions. In video number 1 I talked already about coordinating conjunction. Video number 2 I talk about the correlative conjunctions, and in this video lesson we are going to be discussing more with the subordinating conjunctions. So now let's go together to see the different or how to use the subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are adverbs. We use them to introduce subordinate clauses. We use them to show the relationship between two ideas. We also use them to connect between dependent and independent clauses. So as you know that the name we call it is a conjunction, but actually it's function as an adverb to talk about as an adverb that we connect between the dependent and independent clauses. So now look at sentence number 1. We will go outside when the sky gets darker. We will go out, it is an independent clause. And when the sky gets darker, it is the dependent clause. What is it different? Independent clause is a clause that we don't need something to complete more idea. Whereas the dependent clause is a clause that we need the independent clause to make sense. So in the sentence, when the sky gets darker, we call it a subordinate clause. Okay, now please go to see the next example to see about the swap or the position in the sentence. And in sentence number 1 and in sentence number 2, it means the same, but we have different position. So in sentence number 2, when the sky gets darker. So when the sky gets darker is a dependent clause. And when we connect with the independent clause, we have to use comma. And then we put the independent clause. So when the sky gets darker, we will go outside. How many subordinating conjunctions are there? So we have after, we have because, before, even if, even though, in order that, since, once, unless, until, when, whenever, whether, while. So now look at the difference between subordinate conjunction and subordinate clause. When the rain stops, we will go out for lunch. When the rain stops, we will go out for lunch. So you focus on when. What is the function of when right now? When right now is a subordinate conjunction, but when it plus with subject and verb, it becomes the subordinate clause. So what is the function of when now? When now function as a subordinate conjunction when it stands alone, but when it stands in a group, we call it subordinate clause. So when here is a subordinate conjunction, and when it is in the parenthesis, we call it as a subordinate clause, as I mentioned earlier. When is a subordinate conjunction, and when the rain stop is a subordinate clause. Here we are going to study more about the subordinating conjunction, with after that we are going to show the example with the subordinate conjunction after. So in here, is it a conjunction or preposition? In the after, we call it preposition, but sometimes it functions as a conjunction. So now look at the sentence. How to notice conjunction or preposition? After this class, we will go to the zoo. After we finish this class, we will go to the zoo. So what is the difference between these two sentences? After this class, we go to the zoo. And after we finish this class, we will go to the zoo. You can see the sentence number 1, after this class is a preposition. And its function as a prepositional phrase plus independent clause. And the next example, after we finish this class, after we finish this class is a dependent clause. And we will go to the zoo is a main clause or independent clause. And thank you very much for watching this lesson. I hope you will understand the difference between junction and preposition and subordinate conjunction and subordinate clause. If you have any question, please comment and I will reply back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much.